Hi everyone, I'm Lisa. Thank you so much for joining me for today's class. So today's flow, we're going to concentrate on the hips because the hips is always something nice to open up into. A lot of us have kind of tight hips. We'll do a tiny little bit of strengthening, but not in so much like a Monday's class. Grab your props if you like to use them. We'll meet in child's pose. At the back of the mat, let's have the knees nice and wide, big toes together, and then anything you like to do with the arms. And once you arrive into your place, close down the eyes. Maybe you like to bring the gaze towards the tip of the nose. And just beginning to calm your breath down. Noticing each inhale and exhales as it moves around the body. And as you take those breaths in and out through the nose. And then using this time to notice your physical body. Noticing the space that this child's pose is creating within the hips and in the back. Feeling the softness of the shoulders and in the elbows and in the facial muscles. And just beginning to draw your attention a little bit deeper into the breath. Taking those real big inhales through the nose. Nice long exhales through the nose. And keep going just like that, taking big inhales through the nose. Nice long exhales through the nose. Whenever you're ready, reach the arms out in front of you if they're not already. Hands about shoulder width distance apart, index fingers at least facing forwards. Gripping the mat with the fingertips and the inner palms as you inhale, roll forwards, come into a tabletop, and as you exhale, adjust yourself. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, hip width distance apart. The gaze is slightly out in front of you to keep the neck nice and long. Belly and the ribs drawn in, take the back bend out of this. Up to you if you want to tuck the toes under. As you float and extend your right leg back behind you. And as you do that, keep pressing into the right hand as the hip points stay facing forwards. Left arm reaches out in front of you. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, tap the left fingertips to the ground, followed by the right toes. And then inhale, lift them back up. Exhale, elbow to knee, round it in. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, tap. One last round, so inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, release. Exhale, tap. This time around, you're going to inhale, reach it nice and long. And as you exhale, left hand to the mat. Cross your right knee on top of the left knee. Swing both feet to the outside of the hip, so it's like a cow facing pose. And then you're going to just come for a few rounds of your cat-cow here. Squeezing into the inner thighs, sending the sitting bones back behind you. And then make this your last one. Swing that left foot so it's back behind you. And then right leg swings back. And take a deep inhale, and then as you exhale, return back into a tabletop. Inhale, reach your left leg nice and long. You can stay here if you like, right arm reaches forwards. Find your engagement, find your gaze. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round and crunch. Inhale, reach it nice and long. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tap. This time around, inhale, lift. And as you exhale, right hand to the mat as you cross your left knee on top of the right knee. Swing the feet back towards the outside of the hips. And again, move through your cat-cow. If you want to take any other spinal movements, you're more than welcome to. Maybe warming up into the wrist as well. And then bring your spine back to neutral. Swing your right foot back and then left leg sweeps back behind you. And then release, tabletop position. Take a seat into your child's pose, knees nice and wide. Keep reaching the arms out in front of you, spread into the fingers as you inhale, roll forward, think cat pose, hollow out the belly. And as you exhale, move through the cow, bring the seat to the heels. 2 more like that. Inhale brings you forwards. And as you exhale, back. 1 last time, inhale forwards. And as you exhale, this time tuck 10 toes under, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Once you arrive here, just pedal it out. Take a feel of what's going on with the rest of the body. And then gradually find some stillness. If your hamstrings are a little bit tight, if you're rounding into the upper back, please bend into the knees, find a little bit more length along the spine. Keep pressing the mat with the inner palms and the finger pads, and keep pushing away from the hands to find a little bit more length along the side body. As you inhale, lift your heels nice and high. Exhale, pivot 10 toes towards the left. Micro bend into the knees. Pike the hips back behind you. Spiral the left ribs open. Inhale, come back to center. Lift your heels nice and high. And as you exhale, to the other side. And then coming back to center, lift your heels nice and high. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels nice and high. And as you exhale, release. 2 more like that. So inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. 1 last time. Inhale, lift your heels nice and high. And as you exhale, release, downward facing dog. Bring your left foot to center, lift your left heel nice and high. As you inhale, reach your right leg up, and as you exhale, maybe roll it around. And as you exhale, bend into the right knee, send your right leg to the outside of your right hip. You can always do this left leg grounded as well if you prefer. Pull that left hip back, so it's like a downward dog hydrant. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, tap knee to knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. 1 last round. Inhale, lift. Keep the hip points facing forwards, and as you exhale, tap. This time round, inhale, stretch your right leg back behind you, 3-legged dog. And as you exhale, step your right foot forward. Drop the left knee to the mat. Roll it into a modified side plank. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, tap the right toes back behind you, left hand behind the head, just a baby back bend here. Inhale, re-extend. And as you exhale, tap your right foot down, lift the torso up. We'll come into a gate pose. Right hand down your right leg, left arm reaches up and over. Inhale, lifts you all the way back up. Exhale, release the hands to the mat. Turn towards the top of the mat as you bring your right knee again to the outside of the right hip. So a tabletop version of the fire hydrant. Notice if you're leaning too far over towards the left, and notice if the right hip has opened. Can you press into the right hand as you drop the right hip down? Engage into the outer glutes, engage into the core. Take a deep inhale, exhale, tap, knee to knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. 1 last round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale, stretch your right leg back behind you, and as you exhale, step your right foot forward. Squeeze into the inner thighs. As you inhale, reach the arms nice and high. Exhale, interlace your fingers behind the head, puff the chest forward. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, hands to the mat, step it back, shift it forwards, lower your chest and your chin. Inhale, sweep forward, find your back bend, point 10 toes, and as you exhale, lift it back up, downward facing dog. As you inhale, roll forward, find your plank pose. And as you exhale, wave it back, downward facing dog. 2 more like that. Inhale brings you forward. Exhale back. One last time, inhale forwards. Exhale back. Bringing the right foot to center. Inhale, left leg reaches up, maybe roll it around. And then return back to squared hips to the front of the mat. Bend into that left knee to the outside of the hips as you pull that right hip back. Equal weight in the finger pads. Take a deep inhale, exhale, tap, knee to knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. One last time, inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale, return back into a three-legged dog, left leg back behind you. And as you exhale, drop the right knee down, roll it open, modified side plank, keep the left leg lifted. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, tap the left toes back behind you, left hand behind the head, send the chest forward, skywards. Inhale, come back into a neutral spine, side plank. Exhale, left hand finds the ground towards the back of the mat. We're coming into a gate pose, left hand down the left leg, right arm reaches up and over. Inhale brings you all the way back up. Exhale, hands to the mat, turn towards the top of the mat. Left leg shoots back behind you. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, bend into that left knee, send it to the outside of your left hip. Keep pressing into that left hand, hip points are facing forwards, core's engaged. Take a deep inhale, exhale, tap knee to knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. One last time, inhale brings you up. Exhale, tap. This time around, inhale, push your left leg back behind you. And as you exhale, step your left foot forward. Squeeze into the inner thighs as you inhale, reach the arms nice and high. Front knee on top of the ankle. And as you exhale, hands to the mat, step it back. Scoop the belly and the ribs in as you shift it forwards, wrap the triceps back, lower your chest and your chin, bottom sticks up. Inhale, sweep forward, find your back bend, point 10 toes. And as you exhale, push it back up, downward facing dog. As you inhale, lift your heels nice and high. Exhale, pivot 10 toes towards the left. Micro bend into the knees as you spiral the left ribs open. Inhale, come back to center, heels lifted nice and high. Exhale to the other side. And then inhale, come back to center, lift your heels nice and high. And then as you exhale, pivot the 10 toes back towards the left. Ground into the right foot, maybe tent onto the left fingertips. If you like, you can always shift the gaze underneath that left armpit. Keep pressing into the base as you inhale, lift your left leg nice and high, point into the toes, stay strong. And as you exhale, step your left foot forward. Squeeze into the inner thighs as you inhale, come up high lunge. Exhale, twist towards the left, split the arms nice and wide. Notice if you're leaning forward, can you just peel back slightly? Maybe the gaze can go over that, towards that left hand. Find length along the side body, grow nice and tall. Take a deep inhale, and as you take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, turn towards high lunge, spin the back foot down, extended side angle, left forearm on top of the thigh, right arm sweeps up and over. Wrapping the left outer glute under, checking that the front knee is in line with the toes, and it's not rolling inwards. Keep engaging into the right quad, find as much length as you can along the side body. As you inhale, lift all the way back up, warrior two. And as you exhale, shift the gaze out in front of you, keep reaching it forward, lift it up, warrior three. Right leg lift. Engage into the core, hip points are facing forwards, and use props if you like. Take a deep inhale, exhale, fingertips to the ground, or again, you can find your prop. Keep the left leg nice and long if you can, try not to bend too much. If you're like this, then you need to use props underneath the hands. Keep pulling that left hip back, take a deep inhale, shoot that right heel back behind you, and as you exhale, sweep your right foot to that right wall. You can always bend into that right knee if that feels better. Inhale, return back into that nice supported warrior three. And as you exhale, sweep the right leg to the right. One last time, inhale, release. Warrior three. And as you exhale, sweep. Inhale, return back into that warrior three. And as you exhale, lift the hands up, come back into another variation, hands together if that feels better. Keep shooting that right leg back as you sweep your left arm to the outside of that left hip. Right arm forwards, awkward warrior three. Keep bending into your left leg as you land your right toes back behind you, high lunge. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, hands to the mat, three-legged dog, left leg reaches up. And then as you exhale, downward facing dog. As you inhale, roll forward, find your plank pose, and as you exhale, wave it back, downward facing dog. Two more like that. Inhale brings you forwards. Exhale back. One last time, inhale forwards. And as you exhale back. Inhale, lift your heels nice and high. Exhale, pivot 10 toes towards the right. Micro bend into the knees. Spiral the right ribs open. Inhale, come back to the center. Lift your heels nice and high. Exhale to the other side. So this time around, inhale, lift your heels nice and high. Exhale, pivot 10 toes towards the right. 10 onto the right fingertips. Press into that left leg as you inhale, lift your right leg nice and high. Shift the gaze out in front of you as you land your right foot forward. Squeeze into the inner thighs. Inhale, rise all the way up, find your high lunge. And as you exhale, twist towards the right, split the arms nice and wide, revolved high lunge. Nice broad chest. Maybe the gaze towards that right hand. Drop the shoulders down the back. Can you grow a little bit longer along your side body? Inhale, sweeps you all the way up past your high lunge. Exhale, spin the back foot down, extend the side angle. Right forearm on top of the thigh, left arm sweeps up and over. Check in with your front knee. Check in with your foundation. Can you find a little bit more strength here? Inhale for your warrior two. And as you exhale, shift the gaze out in front of you. Keep reaching it forward. Let's lift it up. Warrior three, back leg floats. Keep pulling the right hip back, belly ribs drawn in, left hip faces forward. Take a deep inhale, exhale, fingertips to the ground if it's not already. Maybe use the props. Take a big inhale, push through that left heel, and as you exhale, maybe bend into that left knee, send it to the left hip, or you can stretch it long. Inhale, return back into a warrior three, and then as you exhale, sweep. Careful not to lean over towards the right. One last time, inhale, release. And as you exhale, sweep. This time around, inhale, release your left leg long. And as you exhale, lift the arms back up. Whoa. Come to an arm free warrior three, whatever variation. So now the right hip, right arm to the outside of the right hip as the left arm reaches forwards. Awkward warrior three. Bend into that right knee as you land your left toes back behind your high lunge. Arms towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, hands to the mat, three-legged dog, right leg lifts up. And then as you exhale, downward facing dog. Find as much length as you can along the spine. You can stay here. Maybe you'd like to come into a child's pose. So inhale, lift your heels nice and high. Exhale, pivot 10 toes towards the right. Inhale, come back to center, heels lifted nice and high. Exhale to the other side. So inhale, come back to center, lift your heels high. Exhale, pivot 10 toes towards the right. Maybe again, this time you'd like to 10 onto the right fingertips, gaze underneath the right armpit. Inhale, right leg lifts nice and high. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Squeeze into the inner thighs right away. We'll lift all the way up. Exhale, twist towards the right. Split the arms nice and wide. Revolved high lunge. Inhale brings you all the way back up. And as you exhale, spin the back foot down. Extended side angle. Right forearm on top of the thigh. Left arm reaches up and over. Grow as long as you can from that left outer foot all the way to the left fingertips. Is your bottom sticking out? Are you leaning forward? Can you push the hips forward? Finding a little bit more length and space across the chest and the hips. Inhale for your warrior two. And as you exhale, reach it forward, lean forward, come into a warrior three. This time the fingertips taps to the ground. Left leg back behind you. And take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, let's bring your left leg to the outside of that the left hip. Flex into the foot, push into that imaginary wall. And then inhale, return the left leg back behind you. And as you exhale, left ankle to the outside of that right ankle. Take a big inhale, push that right hip back. And then as you exhale, if you've got a little bit more space, fold forwards a little bit deeper. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, shoot your left leg back behind you, coming back into a nice supported warrior three. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, bend into that right leg as you land your left toes back behind you. Scoot your right foot over towards the edge, come into an active lizard lunge. Squeeze the 2 feet together. Left heel stacks on top of the toes as you keep reaching the crown of the head forwards. And take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, twist towards the right, rolling onto the little toes of both feet. Fallen lunge, sorry. If you needed a bit more space in the outer right hip, scooch this right foot down a little bit more. Notice if you're sticking the bottom out. If you are, create a little bit more space. Push into the outer feet as you inhale, lift all the way up. And then as you exhale, tap the hip back down. This time around, turn towards the back of the mat, come into a half cow pose. Keeping the right knee stacked on top of the left knee, peel the left toes towards the face. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, if you've got a little bit more space, fold forwards. Inhale brings you all the way up. Exhale, roll towards the instep of that left foot. Right ankle stays on top of the left thigh as your right hand comes back behind you. Scoop the belly and the ribs in. Find as much length as you can in that left foot all the way from the right hand. We're going to push it up, revolved, side plank. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, figure four, downward facing dog. And then slowly release, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, find your plank pose, and as you exhale, wave it back, downward dog. 2 more like that. Inhale brings you forwards. Exhale back. 1 last time. Inhale forwards. And as you exhale back. So inhale, lift your heels nice and high, and as you exhale, pivot 10 toes towards the left. Inhale, lifts you back through center. Exhale to the other side. And then inhale, come back through center. Exhale, pivot the toes towards the left again. Find your foundation in that right foot and the right hand. Maybe tent onto the left fingertips this time. As you inhale, lift your left leg nice and high. Exhale, left foot steps forward. Squeeze into the inner thighs right away. We'll inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, twist towards the left, split the arms nice and wide, revolved high lunge. Inhale brings you all the way back up, and as you exhale, spin the back foot down, nice wide base, extended side angle. Front knee is bent as you lean into that front thigh. Inhale for your warrior two. And as you exhale, shift it forwards, lean it forwards, supported warrior three. You don't have to do the supported, you can always float the fingertips off the ground, your practice. Push the right heel back behind you, take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, send your right leg to the right wall. You can always bend into that right knee if that feels better. Keep pulling that left hip back as you take a deep inhale, return back into that warrior three. And as you exhale, cross your right ankle behind your left ankle. Inhale, halfway lift, pull the hips back. And as you exhale, fold forwards if you've got more space. Again, use props if you're not really feeling much here and the knees are super bent. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, sweep the right leg back. Warrior three. Begin to bend into that left leg, land your right toes back as you scooch your left foot over towards the edge. Nice wide base as you squeeze the feet together. Right heel stacks on top of the right toes. Active lizard lunge here. Breathe. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, pivot 10 toes towards the left, rolling onto the pinky side of the feet. Right leg is nice and long. Just slightly open the left knee. If it doesn't feel good, again, you know what to do. Scoot your left foot way, way down to give you more space. Scoop the belly and the ribs in. As you inhale, push it all the way up. Reach your left arm over the head. And as you exhale, tap the hip to the ground. Turning towards the back of the mat. Left knee on top of the right knee. Peel the right toes towards the face. Take a deep inhale. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Sit nice and tall. Exhale, fold forwards if you've got more space. Coming all the way back up. Left hand back behind you. Left fingertips faces forwards. Roll to the instep of that right foot. Keep the cross. Push it up. Side plank. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, figure four, downward facing dog. And then release. Downward facing dog. Inhale, look at the front of your easy walk to the top of the mat, folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift, pull the chest through. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Press down the leg, big, and I'll lift you all the way up. Reach the arms nice and high. And as you exhale, keep the hip points facing forwards. We'll open twist towards the right. Right arm back behind your left arm forwards. So as you find that rotation, so you keep pushing that left hip back. If this doesn't feel good, you can always interlace the fingers behind the head. Inhale, come back to center, sweep the arms nice and high. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, lifts you all the way up, reach the arms nice and high. Exhale, fold forwards, bend into the knees. Catch the fingertips back behind you. Maybe pedal out through the knees. Send the arms way over the head. Releasing the fingertips as you inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, right fingertips to center as your left hand comes onto the lower back. Check that the hips are facing forwards. Take a deep inhale, exhale, twist towards the left. You can stay here, maybe the left arm shoots up towards the ceiling. Inhale, come back to center, and as you exhale, let's take it to the other side. And then coming back to center, folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, pivot the toes out. Nice wide base. Squat low, yogi squat, Vipassana. Notice if the knees are rolling in here. Can you recruit into your glutes and use your arms to push the knees further out? Knees and the toes are falling in the same directions. Maybe you need to play with the stance of the feet. Press down the base, take a big inhale, stretch all the way up, reach the arms nice and high. And then as you exhale, like you're sliding down a wall, come all the way back down. Two more like that, so inhale, lift high. And as you exhale, slide all the way down. One last time, inhale brings you all the way up. And as you exhale, drops you all the way down. Up to you if you want to use the fingertips or not. Let me face this way. We're going to do 90-90, so take a deep inhale. Exhale, drop the knees over towards the left. Let's test the mobility of the hips. Press into the shin bones. Pull that left hip back as you sit nice and tall. Inhale, come back through center, yogi squat. Exhale to the other side. And again, feel free to use the hands. So inhale, come back through center, yogi squat. Exhale, take it to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Okay. So now you've landed in the 90-90. The right shin is forwards. You can stay here, maybe you like to fold forwards. This might feel a little bit nicer for some of you. This might feel intense. If it is, back out. You can always bring your left leg back behind you, come into more of a sleepy, traditional pigeon pose. Do whatever feels good for you. Maybe like to sway into the hips as well. Pressing the hands into the ground, tuck the left toes under if they're not already. Let's sweep it back, three-legged dog, right leg lifts up. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look at the front of you, slowly walk to the top of the mat. Right away, let's squat it back down, pivot the toes out, come back into your yogi squat. Sit nice and tall, nice and proud. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, drop the knees over towards the right. Inhale, come back through center, and as you exhale to the other side. Again, use the hands if you like. Inhale through center, exhale to the right. Inhale center, exhale to the left. Keep pressing into the shin bones. You can stay here nice and tall. You can fold forwards if you like. And then you can always sweep your right leg back behind you, which I'm going to do. Coming to the pigeon pose. Then when you're ready, ground into the hands, tuck the right toes under. Let's lift it up, three-legged dog, left leg reaches high. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, downward facing dog. Let's drop the knees to the ground and come back into a child's pose. Keeping the arms reached out in front of you. As you inhale, roll forward, think cat pose, puff up between the shoulder blades. Exhale, move through the cow. Bring the seat to the heels. Two more like that. Inhale, ripple shoe forwards. Exhale back. One last time, inhale forwards. And as you exhale, return back into that child's pose. And then when you're ready, let's come into a tabletop position. As you float your right leg back, take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, right foot steps forward. Squeeze into the inner thighs. As you inhale, reach the arms nice and high, baby lunge. And then as you exhale, half splits, fingertips to the ground or to the props. Now notice with my left knee, I'm scooching it back behind me as I stretch the front leg. Pull the right little toe towards the face as you pull that right hip back. Slowly reground your front foot and then swing this left leg forwards. So left leg is long out in front of you. Let's create a nice hip width distance apart. I'm going to go a little bit wider to make space for me. You do you. Hip points are grounded. Left toes peeled towards the face. Left quad is super engaged to protect the hamstring. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, fold towards the inside of that right knee. You might find that you're not folding down too much. A bolster is really great for this position, to just relax a little bit more. Use whatever you've got. Maybe you don't need to use anything. If this feels really uncomfortable, you can always bring the right foot to the inside of that left leg. It is completely up to you. Coming all the way up as you tap the right fingertips back behind you. Sit nice and tall, take a deep inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, grab hold of your left knee. Maybe the elbow comes to the outside, and then we'll twist. Take a deep inhale, find your length. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Notice if you're leaning back, if you are, sit up a little bit taller, and then find the rotation in the upper back, not through the hips. And then coming back through center, let's reset, tabletop position. As you float your left leg back, take a deep inhale. Exhale, left foot steps forwards. Squeeze into the inner thighs. Inhale, reach the arms nice and high. Exhale, half splits. Adjust your stance as your front leg starts to straighten. Grounding the hands to the mat, rebend into that left leg as you swing your right leg forwards. Find your base, peel the right toes towards the face. Take a deep inhale, find your length, and as you exhale, let's fold forwards. And coming all the way up. Sit nice and tall, left fingertips back behind you. As you inhale, reach your right arm nice and high. Exhale, gentle twist. Take a deep inhale, find your length. Exhale, maybe twist a little bit deeper. And then coming through center, let's face the top of the mat. Let's come to your cow facing. So either have your left leg reached out in front of you, right knee stacks on top. Okay, squeeze into the inner thighs, press into the sitting bones, take a deep inhale. You can stay nice and tall if you like, fold forward. If you've got the range of motion, bring your left foot to the outside of that right hip. Now the hip points needs to be facing forwards and the sitting bones need to be grounded. So if you feel this is really uncomfortable, you can try propping the knees up or maybe just stretch your left leg. Take a deep inhale and as you exhale, maybe fold down a little bit more. Peeling all the way up. Let's turn towards the right, reach the arms way over towards the right side. Spreading across the left ribs and the left lower back, but making sure the left hip points, the left sitting bone stays grounded. And then coming all the way up. Let's trade sides. Both sides are different, so take it step by step. So the right leg might be long. You can bring it to the outside of the hip. And take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, you can always fold forwards. And keep pulling the hips back behind you as you lean the chest forwards a little bit more. Coming all the way up, turn towards the left, reach the arms way over towards the left side. And keep that right knee grounded. And then lifting all the way up, let's return into a comfortable seated position. Reach your right arm nice and high. And as you exhale, bend into the elbow, send the fingertips between the shoulder blades, and then push the head back. You can stay here, maybe the left hand on top of the right elbow. If you've got the range of motion, left fingertips can grab onto the right fingertips back behind you. You can use a strap. Slowly release. Other side. Inhale, reach your left arm high. Exhale, bend into the elbow. Find what works for you. And sit nice and tall. Maybe creating a little bit of movement here. And then slowly release. Let's come to lie all the way down. Once you arrive here, hug the knees in. Rock side to side. And you can stay here with the lower back grounded, knees towards the armpits, separating the feet nice and wide. Just nice and easy in the groins, into the lower back. If you want to come into the happy baby, you'll grab onto the outside of the feet, the ankles, the toes, send the soles towards the ceiling. Send the knees way out to the outside of the body. Keep the lower back grounded. And then slowly release. Feet about mat distance apart, knock the knees on inwards. Should feel nice for some of us, or most of us, in the lower back. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, send the knees over towards the right. Maybe the gaze is over towards the left. You can always begin to close down the eyes. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, let's take it to the other side. And then coming through center, let's hug things in. Rock side to side. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, release the legs out in front of you. Arms by your sides, palm faces up. Eyes closed. Final pose. And gently begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. And rolling on to the right side. And then when you feel ready to, or lift it all the way up. Nice comfortable seated position. So nice and tall, keep the eyes closed. Nice tall spine. Taking a big inhale through the nose, feel it all the way to the top. And the biggest breath out. Hands together, heart center, and bow the head forwards. Show love and gratitude to yourself and to this practice. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.